Today, I would like to give some explanation of fandom management of K-pop for planning and operational strategy for K-pop fan community platform. I worked for HYBE as a new business TF task force team leader for 3 years, and I worked for HYBE as a logistic integration project and payment system with the fandom platform. And also I'm in charge of fan club business as a new business of HYBE. So I would like to introduce myself a small pages. Yeah, actually I studied psychology in my United University, Korea University. As a graduate school, I'm interested in game, or I was interested in game and some content business in Korea. And also I started the business with a marketing planner as an advertising agency, but I moved to Samsung Electronics, and for 15 years I worked for Samsung Electronics. And there I was what's called the new business leader from the beginning point. TV portal business and MP3 business, music business, health business, and also I working for Samsung Payment. There's a mobile app store business, and also I was in charge of mobile B2B sales and MENA area and Middle East and North Africa area. And then at that time, 2009, I worked for Samsung as a Samsung mobile app store business, and I was surprised that the Apple business for iPhone, at that time, iPhone started, and I was surprised, really, really surprised that Apple had a great fandom. So many people tried to know Apple iPhone and try to buy Apple iPhone, and also they are very participate or one of Apple ecosystem. So I was very interested in the fandom at that time. From that time, I studied the fandom. So I moved to another startup business with Kona Eye and Beaver, and also I was adapt this fandom to our business. And then I moved to BKT Entertainment. Now it's called HYBE. So at that time, the reason why I joined this BKT Entertainment because of the interest on fandom. So I studied and also I have experienced the fandom, real fandom marketing at that time. And then I moved to Weaver's company, the brother company of HYBE, as a fan platform company. So I would like to introduce the Weaver's business at the last of this presentation. Nowadays, I moved to Dutch Communication to adapt this fandom marketing framework to all of our clients who will adapt this fandom marketing as their core marketing tool for the future. So that is the slogan of myself, the true fan of all fandom. I was extend this fandom framework to all globally, all around the world, because fandom and fan is a very positive, and I think it's really, really good feature inside. So try two explanation. Today, I'll do my best. I usually ask these questions to our customers, our listeners. The fandom. What is fan and what is fandom? Or are you a fan? I usually ask, and I think normally 3% of the audience say yes, and rest of them very quiet, and no one they don't want to reveal themselves as a fan, because I think fan has a bright side and a dark side and inside together. Because a fan and fanaticus or something like that word came the very negative way. So people think about that. I'm a fan is like a guilty feeling inside. So I try to transform this fan word from the negative meaning to very positive and I think good words for the future. That is my mission. So everybody think about the fandom is a difficult word, and fan is a little bit bad word because in Korea, fan is what's called that. I think sometime in very youth, young and little people, they fascinated by the artist or any other fan, the object of fan. So I think it's like a bad word. And in the US or any other Occidental countries, fandom or fan is a little bit similar to stalker, or very fond of an enthusiastic word of the fan, the bad word. But I think these days, fandom, the word is very changed to very good word. Nowadays, people normally use themselves as a fan and they try to rebuild themselves as a fan. Nowadays, fandom, but I think in psychological way or historical way, fandom is everywhere and fandom was existed for a long time. The big fandom, social life, and fandom based on social culture. We love music, movie, TV show, and we love something as a fan. And nowadays there is commercial brand fandom is appear right now. And also new fandom, Lego My Own. I love this, I like a cult fan, I think. I'm something I'm fascinated. I would like to this as a to show this as a good thing to globally and other people. It is very good. I'm what is called so supported this thing as a fan. Nowadays it's very changeable meaning right now. So I redefined the fan. The fan is a fanaticus from the original word, and so fascinated, and I think sometimes without any reason, fascinated and observing itself, and then a very bad way. But I think fandom, a fan means, I think meaning is changeable. I usually, you do know the movie like Misery or The Fan, and many movie and The Fan was shown as a stalker or something like that. But nowadays, we saw the fan, the influences all the people in very positive way. The fan gives more insightful life meaning right now. So fandom is a two word, fan plus dom. The fan is fanaticus and something who really like and support it and cheer up the fan icon. I call the fan icon, the object of fandom. And also dom is a kingdom. So we call the fandom is a word of the fan universe. So from the religion, fan was born, I think, from the Asian time. People try to support and try to cheer up something, try to give them a, I think they want some fan icon to success. And then they support it and they dedicated all the things they do. So I redefine the fandom. The fandom refers to the world of view. So it means universe created through relevance and dedication by people. People means fans who enthusiastically cheer and support the object of fans. I call the fan object of fan means fan icon. So I try to use the word fan icon from now on. The fan icon. So anybody who won't be a star from the beginning point is fan icon for BTS for the first time, and also any other, for example, Justin Bieber at the beginning, the fan icon, they want to be a star, but just before to be a star, they want to have their fan. So as many as the fan have, they would like to, they can be more star. So the fan icon, I think, in contrast with the star at the beginning point, the object of the fan. So fandom understand the value of fan icon. I think fan is what is called this. First, they notice that the potential of fan icon, and then fan try to support them and try to cheer them to be a successful, to be a star. So fan makes the one universe between fan and fan icon. So that is the fandom, the real meaning, I think. So I give some sample, but I think this is Korean TV drama, TV show, but many people doesn't know about that. But I think I try to the word of the fan to understand the fandom psychologically way. The fan history, the origin, because I think a fan from 18,000 years ago, for example, the cave painting of Altamira or something, they have big, what is called, big cow. And imagine that at that time, it's very difficult to draw on the cave, even a big cow, big bulls. But they would like to celebrate a person or hunter, for example, and somebody hunt this big cow, and they have some celebration to him, to painting on the wall in the cave. At that time, from then on, the fandom started because people think somebody to cheers and celebrate and try to support them to hunt next time the big cow again. For example, that is the starting of the fandom, I think. For the next era is a religion era. For example, even Jesus have 12 apostles who support Jesus as a God, for example. But the fan is not a royal customer, or fan is a normal believer. Fan try to make their fan icon to be a star. So I think the redefinition of the fan is that people is apostle or what's called evangelist. So fan is like that meaning from then on. So in political way, people think about their king or politic leader to be a great success person. So they try to support them. The fan trusts them to be a great influencer for their political way, those kind of things. That's a political era. And then it moves to, I think 100 years ago, I think, the word fan came out from the literature or play or something. Some people who love a person or love a character, and then they try to support them to be a success. So there is a public, I think, public culture era. So then the artists came out, and then many characters came out, as a fan icon. So people try to support them to be a great, successful character or successful artist. So nowadays it moves present. In presence, people think many fandom, many have what is called it's a kind of fandom era nowadays, because many people think something or somebody or someone to be a great success, they try to support and cheer up them and to be a great successful star. Nowadays is a great opportunity there. So I would like to explain more about the psychological way of define fandom mind. So I think I try to three words of the fandom psychological way, fandom mind. The first thing is admire. The admiration is not the love. It is TV show 2022. It's Korean TV show. There's a drama. But I think dialogue from TV drama, that at that time I studied fandom, but drama dialogue is very suitable for this definition of the fandom. So I try to copying them to explain to you. The first one is admiration, and the girl uh, tells this guy, not for admire me. So admire me, but I think the most important word is not love. You cannot do it with love. Admire me. Admire is more higher than the love. So I think the fan have a mind, not only for the love. I think they admire the fan icon. So there's the first character, first feature of the fandom mind, the fandom psychological way. There's fandom and fan icon. They complete each other. What's called that? Would you like me worship you because you have empty mind? So I complete your mind. The fan and fan icon, the relation between them is intercompletion each other. So you complete me. I think it is in Dark Knight as movie. The Joker told the Batman, "You complete me. Because of you, I exist." So fan and fan icon, the way of the fan think about themselves as a completion for the fan icon. They and fan icon each other. Because of the fan icon exists. For example, BTS told that only for fan we can exist. So we can stay the meaningful life because of the fan. BTS said that like that. So this is the same way. And fan icon relationship is completion each other. And it is best important moment, the fandom moment. The fan tells their impression from the fan icon when they talk this feeling or this information to others to speak out. They can feel I'm a fan. So I think, and this word, that is why I'm talking so loudly. When you talk like this, something strange, joyous comes out. Something inside come out when I talk to somebody else. BTS great. Did you see last night their performance on the TV or music video? Wow, it was great. And whenever I talked like the other fan of fandom, the fandom mind came out from inside. So very, very difficult, important moment, because fandom is basically composed of the social way of talking. social relationship based. So I would like to draw this fan and fan icon relationship. I draw this picture. The fan icon, we call the sincerity or authenticity, what is called the original true story in fan icon gives inspiration to the fan. And fan got some inspiration from the fan icon, and then they respect and worship the fan. And then internally and externally, they move to doing something more for their fan icon, the dedication and communication or something like that. And then fan icon try to complete the fan icon. So that is the reason why fan and fan icon relationship is intercompletion. And also, I call the fan as apostle or evangelist for fan icons. So the core mind of fan is try to support their fan icon very enthusiastically or I think sincerely. They try to support their fan icon to be a great success for the future. So there is interaction between fan and fan icon. So let me talk to BTS case. So I think you knew very well because I heard that before the presentation. Someone is already ARMY, and you know very much of the BTS, more than I think. And BTS started the artist way from 2013. Nowadays, more than 10 years, 11 years. And at the beginning, BTS, I remember the first debut stage of BTS in Korea. It's very, very powerful performance they try to show, but I think audience and consumer reaction is not so powerful like that. So many people didn't know about the BTS at first, and only for the 370 copies album sales, and then they moved back to the stages, and I think they had a very troubled times at that time at the beginning, but their hidden story of this, Jimin and J-Hope, the two members of BTS, they tried to show themselves on the YouTube, and they told the true story of BTS like this. We tried very hard. We had 2 or 3 years to spending to exercise, preparing the new album, but no one knows. So we are very desperate, but we try our best to be success next future. And this is BTS, and they talk like this on the YouTube. And then many people saw this movie clip, and that was the starting point of Bangtan Bam TV. So at that time, the BKT Entertainment, the hype before the name before, and BKT Music Entertainment, the company tried to make the story video clip as a serial TV show, like a TV show program. They tried to start to release their true story on the YouTube. And then 2014, I think from the elementary school consumers, they fascinated by BTS on the YouTube and tried to support them. and all the time they say BTS oppa or something like that, and they transfer and they deliver this video clip to the public all the time, and that was the starting point of the ARMY, the BTS fan club. And 2014, for already almost 1 or 2 years, the ARMY was started, and then many people think about the BTS as a great artist, because I think at first their performance was perfect, and but I think they are fascinated by their effort, the blood, sweat, tears. I think there's a thing, I think that things was fascinating the fans, true fans, and fandom was, I think, snowball effect. They're rolling very fast and growing very fast, and a big community. They're what is called that? They're influencing. They're influencing many people. So I think their success was started from 2015, and I joined 2020 to Big Hit Entertainment. I think 6 months later, it changed the Hive Entertainment. And then the Dynamite was #1 Billboard Hot 100 album and Hot 100 music. And even if Corona, COVID-19 season, I think, and it started as a global fandom. It's growing very fast. But I think that that if someone and somebody, the artist, can be a position of Billboard Hotbag #1, many people try to support them in the United States. Not only for the sales of the album, but also they have to support it by radio request or something like that. But BTS have never, not never, but I think at that time, they cannot visit the United States as a concert or something like that because it's COVID-19 season. But I think many ARMY fans tried to request to their radio center for the BTS music, Dynamite or Water or something like that, and they can make BTS as a #1 artist in the Billboard 100 charts. So their success was succeeded, but nowadays 2013 they have the announcement for the real army service. They stopped the club activities, but nowadays it was also at the moment I remember that because I was in Big Hit Entertainment, Hive Entertainment. At the day of the BTS, we call that the big money supper night, because they announced their stop activity for the time being because of the army services on the YouTube, and the stock Hive stock was go down 25% stock sales. So that was collapsed the value of the stocks, the company. That was horrible night. But I think fans really like this activity because they show themselves sincerely, authenticity for their true life, their thinking and their wanting, their for the future plan. They, without any liars, they show themselves as very truly. So they love this activity. Fan likes that. But I think the stockholders, they don't like that time. But I think from this BTS history, we can find some 3 or 4 items of insight. So first tip, I summarize 3 tips. The first tip is the chairman of HYBE, Seok Bang. He knows very well know about the fandom, and he knows the value of the fan. So he ordered the BTS to focus on the fandom as #1 priority. So that is the reason why Seok Bang is well known about this culture of business culture, also IT technology industry, or he knows the United States, the music industry, he knows very well. And he think about the key was the fan. How much fandom the artist can gather, it is the true key of their success. So that is the reason why BTS at first they a little bit failed, but they exist and try to extend their fandom through the YouTube or online. So that is the reason why the first tip. So ARMY was born even after debuting the first stages, and within 2 years, the ARMY was started, the fan club was started. And the second tip is the expansion of ARMY to extend the fan club and fandom. He knows very well about what is the important thing to make fandom bigger. To gain understanding of digital industry by attending Bang Xiok's startup forum, they know about the IT industry. He learn about the IT industry. The fandom can growing the way and I think directions. The first thing is the 360 business, because fan try to know the fan icon at that time, the BTS, the behind the story. They try to understand and try to find their behind story. So not only music album and music and performance, it is not sufficient. So fans try to know the behind story, the more content. So he make a 360 HYBE 360 team to make the content of artists behind the story. We call the true original story. They try to, so nowadays HYBE 360 can cover not only for the music video, the concerts, their SNS program like Bangtan TV or something like that, and BTS in the Soup, the TV show program, they make themselves in HYBE. So the Bang Xiok and HYBE know about how fandom make bigger because of the fan behind the story, artist behind the story, true story. So many contents they produce themselves. And second one, the IP business. So HYBE IPX nowadays, HYBE IPX. I think before then, normally IP business is like this. Somebody who produced some T-shirts or cups or something like that, they try to ask to artist music company for BTS HYBE and borrow or give the IP of artist. I would like to try to make some artist goods and sell them to the customer, and then revenue share to the artist for the IP. But I think Seok Bang, he knows about this is important thing because of the fan. He tried to know the fandom and fan icon, and without even if they didn't know about the fan, they just give the IP property to the somebody to produce this product. It's meaningless. So he tried to make the, I think, IP goods, we call the merchandising product as themselves. So he made Hive IPX inside of Hive, and they product planning of MD goods, and they try to hire the company who can make and produce this product and sell through the Weavers to the customer directly. And only thing, he knows who is the fan, because fan delivered to the fan directly through the Weavers, he knows the fan. So without knowing the fan, it's meaningless. He doesn't give the IP to any other company who can produce, who try to produce a fandom merchandising product. So this is a different thing. Second one. And third one, he tried to communicate and connect to the fan. He made two applications, two services. First is Weavers, and second was Weaver Shop. Ripley, I think. But Ripley was changed to Weaver Shop. Two applications on the mobile. So only mobile, artist and fan was connected. So fan, customer, and fandom goods or something like that. The second thing, second tip is, I think, relation between fan and fandom, fan icon. So he know about this will be the powerful for the fandom relationship. And third one, third tip was he tried to build the Weavers as a whole music, whole fandom product platform. This is the three tips of the Hive to be the first fandom leader in Korea and also in the world. So we can summarize these 5 factors. First one, product. The fan directly idol BTS Army Universe, I think BTS super fandom idol due to the limitation of the mainstream inclusion. So I think BTS is not a mainstreaming artist. It's at first it's a failure artist. But I think through the fandom, fan can make this artist as a bigger artist and more powerful artist. So I think first one is product. Product means BTS, for example. And second one, content. So a fan icon should have contained the content as a true original story. The second one is the content means true story of the sincerity. So BTS, they make the lyrics and performance themselves because of I think that authenticity, because it's real. They can show themselves as a true story. So content should be true story of sincerity. And third one is a context. So I think the BTS fandom expanded through the SNS, and I think true story can be extended. The fandom communication, I call that closed but open the fan club. So you know that BTS fan club Army was born, but I think after 8 years, Army belongs to the Hive company. The company operating this fan club inside. But I think fan club and company have a relationship, but I think officially fan club was operating by the company. So that is the relationship between fan and fan club. Also, the consumer should be the members on, I think we call that community, through the community. The fan can be the member of fan club. So supporting group, the fandom, fan community, or all the same thing. for the membership, I think. So for example, BTS membership have two membership, free membership and paid membership. Even paid membership, I think if someone pay the paid membership for 1 year, he can or she can get some access right of the buying concert ticket, buying customer goods. 1 day before, they can access the ticket sales and goods sales. And also they can be a member of paid membership. So I think that is the identification of fan. So I think when I joined this Hive asked me to give the solution for identification of the fan. So I tried to rebuild the logistic system, and I tried to build the payment system. With this system, the one goal is to identify the fan. So the five factor of fandom means a platform, the Weverse. The Weverse is a company who can give the solution between fan and artist, the fan icon. With these things, through the Weverse, we can solve all the platforms for content, communication, commerce, a concert, or even something. I will explain next pages. Okay, this 5 is the fan BTS cases. So this is the framework of the fandom, the psychological way, fan and fan icon relationship. So fan, as a consumer side, someone from the touching, he know the fan icon, and then observing, he tried to know much of the fan icon. He tried to gather the information, and he or she observed this information of fan icon. We are observing stages, and third stage is identifying stages, and he or she, the fan, to be harmonized with the fan icon, and emotionally or reasonably, he identifying the fan icon. They feel together and know together. And then the worship, he or she, the fan tries to their artist fan icon to be some better person or better things. He tries to show them to others. Then dedicating means try to support their fan icon with money, time, or expenses. They try to support them to be the nicer. This is the consumer side, and in middle there is a fan icon side. Fan icon should have the original true story at first. To fan to have touching. Touching means not only for the emotional way, it's very intellectual way of know what is the BTS is. I think somebody say that 3-second miracle. Even someone listen to BTS music 3 seconds to be a fan. I think it's a very funny way, but I think fans try to think about that. But I think even someone to be a fan, not only for the emotional way, but also he tried to understand the fan icon. The original true story is very important thing to be a fan. We call the 입덕, starting to be a fan. And then fan icon should have the content understanding for understanding and sympathy. And I think true story should be extended their sincerity way. For example, BTS, I think in Korea, BTS is 흑수저 group. 흑수저 group means is what's called that? Even they don't have any Seoul guys. not only tour guys, it's very country guys together to be a exercise together and try to effort to be a great artist. They spend 2 or 3 years more, and then they debut. And it called the I can explain this guys. Someone help me. But I think they have a story. They have story behind. They are very that I already mentioned that blood, sweat, tears. I think they have already, and then fan knows that they have great efforts. They try to be. They're eager to be a star, so they understand, and then sympathy. They got a sympathy for them, and they observing as much as they know that as they can be more the fan. Then I think fan icon have the sharing with content with others, the community, fan club, or those kind of things to share their emotion and their information to others. Then fan can identify themselves to their artists or fan icons. And the third one should be sharing method and sharing content. And then devoting without reward. So I think the duty of the fan, without any reward, they try to help, support, and cheer up their artists, their fan icons. So that is go to worship and dedicating way. So I think this fan lifestyle cycle. So from the touching to dedicating, the fifth step, we call the fandom society. So fandom can be make and rolling through this psychological way or framework. And I think today the most important page of this. So many people think about that. It will be helpful to understand the Korean fandom company how can do for building fandom. So Hive, the company should compose of three sub factors inside. The first one is labor. Labor means music production company for artists. We called it producer in Korean 제작사. So in Hive, there's a very proud company of many labors. And I think this is very most distinguishable point the Korean music industry to any other country's music industry. For example, United States distributor leading the music industry, for example, Sony Music, Sony BMG or Warner or Universal, those kind of company, they are in the distributors for the music industry. So they choose the artist, they choose and support them to making albums for them to distribute globally around the world. So they have power. So distributor have power on the music industry, but Korea very, very different. Korea JYP, for example, SM, YG, and Hive, or the producing company. But Hive is a little bit different from the SM, JYP, and YG because Hive have three factors inside in the company. There is the first one, labors. The Hive can give some, I think, business standard of the Korean music industry because they producing music and making artists, growing artists inside through the labors. The labor means a producing company, production company. But also, they have some solutions, Hive solution companies. For example, Hive 360, Hive IPX, Hive IM. Those companies can support and extend the music artists with the fans. For example, Hive 360 can make concert, music video, a TV show, YouTube contents, all the content they can make themselves to communicate with fans. And also Hive IPX makes some merchandising goods to communicate with fans, to give the chance to the labels to have a business with this product. So these two things is very different. And nowadays, many music industry of the production company in Korea try to follow this Hive solution to initialize this 360 business and IP's business and IM business also. And very, very distinguishable point is the platform. Hive tried to build Weverse as a fandom platform at the starting point. At beginning, I think, and while according to the BTS success, Hive should deliver some BTS goods, merchandising goods to any other countries. So they build the IPX, build the Weverse platform, the communicate platform, and also the commercial platform together. Nowadays, its name was integrated with Weverse, and at first they tried to show the Weverse and Weebly. The Weebly can be changed, the name changed into Weverse Shop, the official for fans, the fandom company, fandom community, sorry. So that is the Weverse. The Weverse composed of 5 factors: communication and content. Communication, you know the Weverse, I think many people know about the Weverse. So fan can communicate with artists directly through the Weverse. And Weverse, in the Weverse, artists can leave the message to the fans directly. Also, there is a communication. And content, video content, photo contents, music clips, or video clips, all the content we can communicate. Artists can communicate with the fans. And community, the fan club, only for the membership and reward or those kind of things through the Weverse. And also commerce, IP goods, and merchandising program, or even online concert ticket can be sold in the Weverse. And also, during the COVID-19 season, the concert ticket was sold and concert was held in the Weverse. So now the K-pop artist and fandom extension between them, some fandom platform like a communication, content, community, or commerce. It is very distinguishable for any other country's music industry or fandom business area. Okay. Then, and that is I was 2021. I made a credit card. That is, for example, I think sample. So at the mission, I tried to make some new fandom business model on the Hive. So I tried to make Weverse. Weverse is a distribution channel, also a fandom platform. So like a department store. So department store card I make, that is a PLCC, the private label credit card. So I tried to build a Weverse credit card with 4 artists. The first artist is a BTS. And I think nowadays 3 more artists following them. For I give them sample for BTS. BTS can find the fan purpose to microcosm, you know, that this song by the BTS, and through the inspired by this music with 7 stars on the credit card and color black and purple, and then it's non-flashing. I think other technical way, some flash was reflected as a BTS logo on the card. I think it's technical way, not a technology. So that card I make, there's a 17 card as a lenticular. The image was changing from the stone to the diamond. I think it was changed. Also, Tomorrow by Together also make some lenticular images. TXT. N hyphen was audition artist from the BTS Hive Entertainment. So there is a line hyphen mark our symbol. So I make some fan purpose. What is the value of the artist, and try to find this value should be the fan was sympathized, should be. So we have finding fan purpose and then try to build some images and cultural way of story we put in our product, and then we give this to the customer like as a fan. So fans should give this not only for the souvenir, they try to support this artist. They can buy. So I think merchandising, so let me explain in next pages. So we have to make those kind of envelopes, for example, and we have put some stories, fan icon stories inside a small envelope or those kind of things. And then we can MD product, merchandising product, while we open this credit card because fans. And that is the way I'm explaining that the goods consumption. So for MD, merchandising goods consumption is fandom dedication. So I think many people ask me that why fans should buy the MD. Not only for the souvenir, I think that's my answer. That is the way they can show their dedication to their artist. So I think the price is not important, but when they try to buy these things, their pocket situation is the important thing. But as a fandom, they try to show their dedication to their fan icon. They try to buy. That is the big difference between the normal consumption, the fandom consumption. So I think I give you so long. I try to finalize these pages. That is the fan artist participating because of they can show their true story and their sincerity and authenticity to the fans. So this is we were Shinhan when we launched this PLCC card. They try to make some video clips, and then they can show their true story to the customer directly. So I can summarize this presentation. For fandom, I think many people ask me the K-pop fandom, how can get their fandom very big? But I think I give some other example for gathering the fandom. The first one is Patagonia, for example. I think most important thing, Patagonia, there is true story inside, but I think we know that Patagonia is very ESG company, very, what is called that, protecting the nature for the future, the company. But Patagonia is the company who can build a plastic suit and climbing suit or surfing suit for them. But I think even if they can produce those kind of things, they try to save the world, save the earth. That is the way. That is the fan purpose. The Patagonia is the company. We know the truth of the Patagonia. Patagonia 2011, they gave the commercial on the Black Friday event. Don't buy this jacket. But at that time, this jacket was sold 3 times more than before. And then I think true story was great importance. K-pop artists I think every artist have a true story inside. But I think in K-pop, they try to show this, their purpose and their value, their sincerity or authenticity directly to the fans with a true story. The fourth distinguishable way of K-pop fandom was true story and fan purpose orientation. And as we saw the BTS, at first, their very private story. BTS started private story, their efforts, their blood, their frustration, their success, eager to success. But nowadays, their fan purpose can be grown and what's called that developing more higher value. So self-actualization or like a 화양연화 or those kind of things, love yourself or those kind of activities and their fan purpose should be evaluated and developed to the next higher level. So I think K-pop artist fandom, more higher fandom can get more wide fandom they can get. So then I explain K-pop fandom distinct from other fandom. I think the fan orientation and their fandom growing activities I explain. Yes, this is final pages. Thank you very much.